Do you remember Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink-182? I think most people are familiar with who the guy is, but did you know that in 2008, he survived a extremely bad plane crash? He was one of only 2 survivors. The jet that they were on took off a little bit around midnight, and there were 6 people on board. It was Travis and DJ collaborator and friend of his, and his assistant, and another person in his entourage. And then there was 2 pilots. There was a major issue that occurred as the plane was taking off, and under standard operating procedures, they should have aborted before it got to this point, but those procedures apparently weren't completely followed, and so the jet completely went past the runway out into an interstate or highway and then crashed at a very high speed into the side of a hill. It was pretty devastating. 2 people in Travis Barker's entourage were apparently killed instantly on the impact, and the pilots, they ended up dying a little bit slower through smoke inhalation. Barker and DJ AM both made it out of the plane and had to scale down one of the wings, and they were covered in jet fuel, and the majority of their bodies were burned. And they had to stop and drop and roll, and they were literally ripping their clothes off of themselves to try to, not burn alive. Barker ended up in the hospital for about 11 weeks after that, but he survived. And he wouldn't get back on any kind of plane or flight until 2021. He had a pretty traumatic experience with that. Unfortunately, DJ collaborator and friend to Travis Barker, he only lived for another 11 months after the event. All the medications that he on kind of opened the door back into a larger drug problem that he had fought off for about a decade before the event, which ultimately took his life. So very tragic thing, and something that I think I'd been aware of in the news years ago, but I never realized how bad it actually was. It was pretty crazy.